Welcome, dear listener, to another journey with Nature Soothe Stories. Tonight, we invite you to close your eyes and drift into the emerald heart of the Neotropical rainforest, where the air hangs heavy with moisture and mystery. Here, in the layered green cathedral of the Canopy, lives a creature of such magnificent power and grace that it has captured the human imagination for centuries. This is the story of the Harpy eagle, the undisputed monarch of the treetops. Take a deep breath. Let your shoulders relax as we begin our journey together. Imagine yourself suspended in time, floating gently through the warm, humid air of the Amazon basin. The sounds of the forest surround you, the soft drip of water from broad leaves, the distant call of a howler monkey, the whisper of wind through ancient branches. The Harpy eagle awaits us, perched high above, silent and watchful. But to truly understand this remarkable bird, we must first understand the world it inhabits. So let us begin our story not with the eagle itself, but with the forest, the vast, intricate tapestry of life that has shaped every feather, every talon, every instinct of this supreme predator. The rainforest is not simply a collection of trees. It is a world stacked upon itself, a multi-story mansion of life rising from the forest floor to the sunlit canopy 150 feet above. Each layer has its own climate, its own inhabitants, its own rhythm of existence. Begin at the bottom, where the air is still and heavy. Here on the forest floor, only 2% of the sunlight that strikes the canopy manages to penetrate. The ground is carpeted in fallen leaves, slowly decomposing in the constant warmth and moisture. Fungi bloom in fantastic shapes, some glowing softly in the darkness, others spreading like delicate lace across rotting logs. The floor is home to leafcutter ants, following their ancient highways through the undergrowth, each tiny worker carrying a piece of leaf many times its own size. Above the floor rises the understory, a twilight realm of saplings and shrubs waiting patiently for their chance at the sun. Young trees stand motionless, sometimes for years, their growth paused until a giant falls and opens a window to the sky. Ferns unfurl their fronds in slow motion. Broad-leaved plants gather what little light filters down, their surfaces dark green, almost black, maximizing every precious photon. Higher still, we reach the lower canopy, where the action begins to quicken. Here, the trees are established but still reaching, their branches beginning to spread and interlock. Vines spiral upward, using the trees as ladders to the light. Epiphytes, the air plants, cling to every available surface. Orchids bloom in spectacular profusion, their roots absorbing moisture directly from the humid air. Bromeliads cradle pools of water in their leaf rosettes, creating tiny ponds in the sky where frogs lay eggs and insects breed. And then, finally, we emerge into the canopy proper, the vast, sun-drenched realm where most of the rainforest's life unfolds. Here, 100 feet above the ground, the tree crowns spread like a continuous green ocean. The temperature is warmer here, the air is drier, and the light is brilliant. Flowers bloom in explosions of color, scarlet, electric blue, golden yellow. Fruits ripen in abundance, and everywhere there is movement. Monkeys leap from branch to branch, their calls echoing across the green expanse. Sloths hang motionless, their fur tinged green with algae, nearly invisible against the leaves. Toucans hop along branches, their oversized beaks surprisingly light, perfectly designed for reaching fruit on the thinnest twigs. Macaws fly in pairs, their scarlet and blue plumage flashing like jewels in the sunlight. This is the world of the Harpy eagle, This vertical forest, with its layers of life stacked one atop another, its three-dimensional maze of branches and vines, its endless game of hide and seek between predator and prey. To hunt here requires power, certainly, but also precision, patience, and intelligence. The harpy eagle possesses all of these in abundance. Let your breathing slow. Feel yourself becoming part of this green world. You are weightless now, drifting upward through the layers, past the ferns and the orchids, past the vines and the bromeliads, until you emerge into the brilliant light of the canopy. The warm air caresses your face. The scent of flowers and ripening fruit fills your lungs. You are home. The harpy eagle, harpyja, represents the culmination of millions of years of evolutionary refinement. This magnificent raptor belongs to an ancient lineage that diverged from other eagles some 50 to 60 million years ago, long before the Andes Mountains rose or the Amazon River carved its current course. In all that time, the harpy's ancestors were perfecting a single purpose: becoming the ultimate predator of the vertical forest. Imagine, if you will, the passage of those millions of years. Continents shifted, ice ages came and went, the climate oscillated between wet and dry, expanding and contracting the great rainforests. Through it all, the ancestors of the harpy eagle adapted, generation by generation, to master the art of hunting in the trees. The harpy eagle belongs to the order Accipitriformes, the diurnal birds of prey, and to the family Accipitridae, which includes hawks, kites, and eagles. Within this family, it occupies the subfamily Harpinae, sharing this classification with only two other species: the crested eagle of the Neotropics and the Papuan harpy eagle of New Guinea. These three represent parallel solutions to similar ecological challenges: how to hunt large, intelligent prey in dense tropical forests. But the harpy eagle of the Americas stands alone in its perfection. It is the sole member of the genus Harpia, a monotypic lineage, meaning it has no living siblings, no close cousins. It is unique, singular, irreplaceable. The name Harpia comes from Greek mythology, from the Harpies, those fearsome creatures with the faces of women and the bodies of birds, servants of the storm winds, snatchers of souls. When European naturalists first encountered this eagle in the New World, they were struck by its awesome presence, by the almost supernatural power in its grip, by talons as long as grizzly bear claws. The mythological name seemed fitting. In 1816, a French ornithologist named Louis-Jean-Pierre Vieillot formally described the species, giving it the scientific designation that endures today: harpyja. Since then, we have learned much about this remarkable bird, but mysteries remain. Each harpy eagle that scientists study reveals new facets of behavior, new adaptations, new depths of intelligence. Let us consider the harpy's recent evolutionary history, written in its genes. Molecular research, the careful analysis of DNA passed down through generations, tells us that about 60,000 years ago, a significant event occurred. The harpy eagle population in South America underwent a major expansion. 60,000 years ago, the climate was shifting, precipitation was increasing, and the rainforests were spreading. More forest meant more prey meant more eagles, and the population grew. But the story is different in Central America. Here, the genetic evidence suggests equilibrium or even decline. The great Andes Mountains, rising like a wall down the spine of South America, created a formidable barrier. Female harpy eagles, it seems, rarely crossed this barrier, and so the populations on either side began to diverge. Today, Central American and South American harpy eagles are genetically distinct, not different enough to be separate species, but distinct enough that each population represents a unique evolutionary lineage worthy of independent protection. This matters, dear listener, because each population holds unique genetic adaptations to its local environment. The harpy eagles of Belize have learned to hunt in forests without sloths, focusing instead on monkeys and porcupines. The eagles of Brazil specialize in the abundant three-toed sloths of the Amazon. Each population is a library of behavioral knowledge passed from parent to chick over countless generations. Close your eyes and imagine this genetic heritage, an unbroken chain of successful hunters stretching back 60,000 years, each generation teaching the next the secrets of the forest. You are witnessing the product of that long refinement, a bird so perfectly adapted to its environment that every aspect of its body, from the shape of its wings to the structure of its eyes, tells a story of evolutionary mastery. Breathe deeply. Let the weight of this deep time settle over you like a soft blanket. Millions of years of evolution, thousands of generations, all leading to this moment, to this perfect predator of the emerald canopy. To see a harpy eagle is to witness nature's solution to a complex engineering problem. How do you design a predator capable of catching swift, intelligent primates in a dense, three-dimensional environment? How do you create a bird powerful enough to carry a 7-kilogram monkey vertically through the canopy, yet agile enough to weave through branches at 50 miles per hour? The answer lies in the harpy's remarkable physiology, where every measurement, every proportion reveals intentional design. Let us begin with size. The harpy eagle exhibits one of the most extreme examples of reversed sexual dimorphism in the bird world. In most animals, males are larger, but in the harpy eagle, as in many raptors, the female is the giant. An adult female typically weighs between 6 and 9 kilograms, that's 14 to 20 pounds of pure predatory power. Males are noticeably smaller, ranging from 4 to 6 kilograms. Why this difference? The prevailing theory suggests it is a strategy for niche partitioning, a way for a mated pair to divide the labor of hunting. The larger female can tackle the biggest, slowest prey, mature sloths weighing 5 or 6 kilograms, large howler monkeys, even young deer. The smaller, more agile male focuses on faster targets. Smaller monkeys, large birds like macaws or curassows, arboreal animals that require quick reflexes to catch. Together, a breeding pair can exploit a wider range of prey than either could alone. The forest becomes a more efficient larder when you have two hunters of different capabilities working the same territory. In captivity, where food is abundant and exercise limited, harpy eagles can grow even larger. A famous female named Jezebel living in a zoo once weighed 12.3 kilograms, over 27 pounds. But wild eagles are leaner, their weight optimized for the demands of hunting and flight. Now consider the eagle's overall dimensions. From bill tip to tail tip, a harpy eagle measures between 86 and 107 centimeters, roughly 3 to 3.5 feet. They stand nearly a meter tall when perched upright. But it is the wingspan that reveals the most about the harpy's lifestyle. At first glance, the wingspan seems modest for such a large bird, 176 to 224 centimeters, or about 6 to 7.5 feet. Eagles that soar over open country, like golden eagles or African fish eagles, have much longer wings relative to their body size. Their wings are built for efficiency in level flight, for riding thermals and covering vast distances with minimal effort. But the harpy eagle does not soar. It lives in a forest, where long wings would be a liability. Instead, the harpy's wings are relatively short and exceptionally broad. This design provides high lift, the ability to generate tremendous upward force with each flap. High lift means the eagle can carry heavy prey, even prey equal to its own body weight. A female harpy can grasp a 7-kilogram monkey and fly vertically upward, powering through the canopy like a helicopter. The wings are also rounded rather than pointed. This shape, combined with the long tail acting as a rudder, gives the harpy extraordinary maneuverability. The bird can bank sharply around tree trunks, twist through gaps in the foliage, even burst almost straight upward from a lower perch to snatch prey from above. In the forest's three-dimensional maze, agility matters more than top speed. And yet, when the harpy eagle commits to a strike, it is devastatingly fast. Bursts of 80 kilometers per hour, 50 miles per hour have been recorded. Imagine a 20-pound missile of muscle and talon hurtling through the branches with the precision of a heat-seeking weapon. The prey rarely has time to react. The power for these explosive movements comes from the eagle's chest. Like all birds, the harpy's breast muscles, the pectoralis major and minor, are anchored to a deep keel on the sternum. But the harpy's keel is exceptionally large, providing attachment points for massive flight muscles. The breast of a harpy eagle is deep and muscular, giving the bird its characteristic robust silhouette. When you see a harpy eagle perched, you notice immediately the thickness of its legs. The tarsus, the lower leg between the knee and the foot, is extraordinarily stout, as thick around as a human toddler's wrist. This is not fat or feather, it is bone and tendon, the structural support for what comes next. The feet, the talons, the weapons that make the harpy eagle the most formidable predator in its realm. Let your mind linger on this image. Each foot has 4 toes, arranged with 3 pointing forward and 1 pointing back. Each toe ends in a curved, razor-sharp talon. The talons are black, polished to a shine by use, tapering to points fine enough to pierce hide and flesh like needles. The rear talon, the hallux, is the largest. In a mature female harpy eagle, this single claw can reach 13 centimeters in length. That's 5 inches. Hold your hand out and imagine a curved blade 5 inches long extending from your finger. That is the harpy's killing tool. But length is only part of the story. It is the force behind these talons that truly astounds. When a harpy eagle closes its foot, the pressure exerted is estimated at 42 kilograms force per square centimeter, about 530 pounds per square inch, or 4.1 megapascals in scientific units. To put this in perspective, that is comparable to the bite force of a large dog, such as a Rottweiler. But while a dog's bite distributes force across multiple teeth, the harpy's grip concentrates that pressure through 4 sharp, penetrating points. The result is catastrophic for the prey. When a harpy eagle attacks a monkey or sloth, those talons pierce deep into the body, often penetrating vital organs or severing the spinal cord. The prey is killed almost instantly. A mercy, perhaps, given the alternative. Skulls are crushed like eggshells, vertebrae snap. The eagle's grip is so powerful that it can continue to carry prey even in death, the talons locked in a rigor of muscle and tendon. There is a documented case of a harpy eagle attacking a BBC cameraman during filming. The man was wearing a protective Kevlar vest designed to stop projectiles and absorb impact. The eagle struck him from above, perhaps mistaking him for prey, perhaps defending territory, and the force of the impact, even through the vest, nearly rendered the man unconscious. He was left bruised and shaken, with a profound new respect for the bird's power. This is not aggression for its own sake. The harpy eagle is not a violent creature by temperament. Those who work with them in captivity describe them as calm, even gentle when handled properly. But they are designed for one purpose: to kill efficiently, and at that task they have no equal in the American tropics. Feel the power of evolution in this design. Feel the millions of years of refinement that went into crafting this perfect predator. Let the image of the harpy eagle settle in your mind. Powerful wings, massive chest, thick legs, terrible talons. This is form following function in its purest expression. Rest now. Let your breathing synchronize with the rhythm of the forest. In and out. In and out. The harpy eagle is patient. It can wait for hours, motionless on its perch. You too can embrace this stillness. The rainforest canopy is a realm of light and shadow, of dappled sunlight flickering through leaves, of dark hollows where the sun never penetrates. To hunt in this environment requires vision of extraordinary power and precision. The harpy eagle possesses perhaps the most sophisticated visual system of any bird of prey. Begin with the eyes themselves. Despite the eagle's large body, its eyes are roughly the same size as human eyes, about the diameter of a grape. But this is misleading, for what matters is not the absolute size of the eye, but rather the density and organization of the photoreceptors within. The human retina contains approximately 200,000 cone cells per square millimeter in the fovea, the region of sharpest vision. This gives us excellent visual acuity by mammalian standards. We can read fine print, recognize faces from across a room, thread a needle. But the harpy eagle's fovea contains nearly 1 million cones per square millimeter, 5 times the density of human vision. This creates an image of stunning clarity and detail, a resolution so high that it approaches the theoretical limits of what is possible with the eye's optics. What does the world look like through such eyes? Imagine looking at a landscape and being able to count the individual leaves on a tree 100 meters away. Imagine seeing the texture of bark, the pattern of scales on a lizard, the individual hairs on a monkey's arm, all from distances where a human would see only shapes and colors. Scientists estimate that harpy eagle vision is 8 times more powerful than human vision. This means that what we could see clearly from 20 feet away, the harpy can see clearly from 160 feet. The numbers cited in scientific literature are even more impressive. A harpy eagle can detect a small object just 2 centimeters across from a distance of 200 meters, over 600 feet. Picture this. You are standing at one end of 2 football fields placed end to end. At the far end, someone places a coin on the ground. You cannot see it. It is too small, too far away. But the harpy eagle, perched in a tree beside you, sees that coin with perfect clarity. It can make out the details of the engraving, the date, the wear patterns on the metal. This is not exaggeration. This is the reality of harpy eagle vision. But extraordinary acuity is only part of the story. The harpy eagle's eyes have other adaptations that make them perfect instruments for hunting in the forest. Each eye contains not one fovea, but 2. This is unusual. Most birds have a single fovea, positioned to give the sharpest view in one direction, but the harpy, like many birds of prey, has evolved a second foveal region. The deep central fovea points approximately 45 degrees to the side of the head. This fovea provides the ultra-high resolution distance vision we just described. When a harpy eagle is perched and scanning, it often looks sideways, using this deep fovea to scrutinize the forest for any sign of movement or prey. The shallow temporal fovea points more forward, about 15 degrees from the midline. This provides binocular vision, the overlapping view from both eyes that allows precise depth perception. When the eagle is about to strike, when it needs to judge the exact distance to its target, it looks straight ahead, bringing both shallow foveae to bear on the prey. This dual fovea system is elegant in its efficiency. The eagle can scan with one eye's deep fovea for maximum range, then walk both shallow foveae onto the target for the final attack. It is like having both a telescope and a rangefinder built into your visual system. There is another structure in the eagle's eye that aids in vision, the pecten oculi. This is a comb-like structure of blood vessels that projects from the back of the eye into the vitreous humor, the gel that fills the eyeball. The pecten supplies oxygen and nutrients to the retina, which has no blood vessels of its own. But the pecten may serve a second function. As it casts a shadow on the retina, it might help the eagle judge the angle of sunlight, functioning as a kind of built-in sundial or compass. This could assist in navigation or in timing daily activities. The full function of the pecten remains a subject of research, but its presence adds another layer of sophistication to the eagle's visual system. Now consider the eagle's field of view. While humans have roughly 180 degrees of vision, we can see what's in front of us and somewhat to the sides. The harpy eagle can see approximately 340 degrees, nearly a complete circle. Only a small blind spot exists directly behind the head. This panoramic awareness is crucial for a predator that must monitor a complex three-dimensional environment. Threats and opportunities can come from any direction: above, below, behind. The harpy misses nothing.
But there is a trade-off. Unlike humans, eagles cannot move their eyes in their sockets. The eyeballs are fixed in place, held by a ring of small bones called the sclerotic ring. To change what it is looking at, the eagle must move its entire head. If you have ever watched a bird of prey, you have seen this behavior. The constant, precise movements of the head, bobbing, tilting, rotating. These movements are how the eagle projects images of interest onto different parts of its retina, switching between foveae, judging distances, maintaining awareness of its surroundings. The neck of a harpy eagle is remarkably flexible, allowing the head to rotate far enough to see directly behind. This flexibility, combined with the dual foveal system, gives the eagle complete mastery of its visual environment. And then there is color vision. Like most birds, harpy eagles are tetrachromats. They have 4 types of color-sensitive cone cells compared to the 3 that humans possess. The 4th type is sensitive to ultraviolet light, wavelengths invisible to us. What advantage does UV vision provide? Many prey animals have fur or skin that reflects UV differently than visible light. A sloth that appears uniformly brown to human eyes might show patterns or contrasts in the UV spectrum that make it easier to spot against the foliage. Urine trails and scent marks left by mammals often fluoresce in UV. The forest that looks monochrome and green to us is, for the harpy eagle, a landscape painted in colors we cannot imagine. Let yourself imagine seeing through those eyes. The forest explodes into detail and color. Every leaf is individually distinct. Movement that would be invisible to you, a sloth shifting its weight on a branch 500 feet away, draws your attention instantly. You can track a monkey leaping through the canopy by watching the subtle sway of leaves in its wake. Your vision is so acute that you can see the pupils of the monkey's eyes dilate in fear as it realizes you are watching. This is the gift and the burden of harpy eagle vision: to see everything, to miss nothing, to be constantly aware of the teeming, abundant life of the forest. But sight alone is not enough. The rainforest is a place of shadows and hidden things. Many prey animals are nocturnal or crepuscular, most active in the dim light of dawn and dusk. Others hide in dense vegetation where even the keenest eyes cannot penetrate. For these situations, the harpy eagle has evolved another sense to complement its vision: extraordinary hearing. Look closely at a harpy eagle's face, if you were fortunate enough to encounter one, and you will notice something unusual for a diurnal raptor. Around the face, especially below the eyes and surrounding the ears, is a subtle disc of specialized feathers. This facial disc is more pronounced than in most eagles, giving the harpy a somewhat owl-like appearance. This is not coincidence. This is convergent evolution, the same solution arrived at independently by different lineages facing similar challenges. Owls, those supreme hunters of the night, use their facial discs to collect and funnel sound waves toward their ears. The disc acts like a parabolic reflector, a living satellite dish that captures sounds from a wide area and focuses them into the ear canals. This gives owls their legendary hearing, the ability to locate a mouse moving under snow or a vole rustling through grass in complete darkness. The harpy eagle has evolved a similar structure,
though less extreme than in owls. The facial disc can be raised or lowered at will, lifted when the eagle is focused and listening, flattened when it is not needed. When raised, the disc directs sound waves to the eagle's ear openings, which are large and positioned asymmetrically, one slightly higher than the other. This asymmetry is important. Sound arriving from a source will reach one ear a fraction of a second before the other. The brain can analyze this tiny time difference to triangulate the exact location of the sound in three-dimensional space. Even if the eagle cannot see the prey, perhaps a sloth moving slowly through dense foliage or a porcupine climbing in the dark understory, it can hear precisely where the animal is. Combined with vision, this hearing creates a multi-sensory map of the environment. The eagle might hear a monkey calling in the distance and turn its head to look, or it might see movement but need to confirm the identity of the prey by the specific sounds it makes. Vision and hearing work together, complementary systems that create a complete picture of the living forest.
The harpy eagle's acoustic environment is complex. The rainforest is never truly silent. Even in the dead of night, there is sound. The drip of condensation from leaves, the buzz of insects, the call of frogs, the rustle of leaves as unseen animals move through the understory. During the day, the cacophony intensifies, birds calling from every level of the forest, howler monkeys roaring their territorial proclamations, the crash of a troop of capuchins moving through the canopy. To hunt effectively, the harpy eagle must be able to filter this chaos to pick out the specific sounds that indicate prey. A sloth's claws scraping on bark, the soft thuds of a monkey landing on branches, the crunch of a porcupine feeding on bark. These are the sounds the eagle listens for during its long hours on the perch. And make no mistake, the hours are long. Harpy eagles are sit-and-wait predators. They do not spend their days in constant motion, searching actively for prey. Instead, they find a good perch, typically a high branch with a clear view of the surrounding forest, and they wait. They wait with the patience of stone. Studies using time-lapse cameras have documented harpy eagles remaining motionless on a single perch for up to 23 hours in a day. 23 hours, moving only to turn their head, to scan the forest, to listen to the symphony of sound around them. This patience is not laziness, it is strategy. Movement in the forest attracts attention. The harpy eagle's prey, monkeys and sloths primarily, are intelligent, watchful animals. They have learned over evolutionary time that harpy eagles are deadly. When monkeys spot an eagle, they mob it, calling loudly to alert the troop and harass the predator. Sloths will freeze, becoming even more motionless than usual, relying on their cryptic coloration to avoid detection. By remaining still, the harpy eagle becomes part of the landscape. It blends into the tree, just another lump on a branch, easy to overlook. The longer it waits without moving, the more likely the prey will let down its guard, will move carelessly, will present an opportunity. And when that opportunity comes, when the monkey makes a miscalculation, when the sloth shifts position on its branch, the eagle explodes into action.
The strike of a harpy eagle is almost too fast to follow with the human eye. One moment, the bird is motionless on its perch. The next, it is in the air, wings beating powerfully, accelerating. The flight is not straight. The eagle weaves around tree trunks and vines with impossible precision, banking hard, using its tail as a rudder to make mid-air course corrections. If the prey is above the eagle, the bird will use a burst of vertical flight, essentially jumping upward with its wings to close the distance. If the prey is level or below, the eagle may drop from its perch, converting altitude into speed, then level out at the last moment to strike. The final approach is feet first. The eagle's body swings vertical, legs extending forward, talons spread wide. Time seems to slow. The monkey or sloth, if it has noticed the eagle at all, has perhaps a second to react, not nearly enough time. The talons close around the prey. The eagle's momentum carries both predator and prey forward, even as the talons sink deep. Often the eagle does not land. It simply continues flying, carrying the prey away from the capture site. The weight of a monkey or sloth is substantial, but the eagle's powerful wings beat on, lifting both bodies up and away through the canopy. Within seconds, it is over. The prey is dead or dying. The eagle carries it to a feeding perch or back to the nest if there are chicks to feed. The forest returns to its usual sounds. Another day's hunt is complete. Imagine the patience required. 23 hours of waiting for perhaps 30 seconds of action. But those 30 seconds are everything. They are the difference between survival and starvation, between successfully raising a chick and watching it die of hunger. The harpy eagle has mastered the art of waiting, of listening, of watching. In your own life, perhaps there is wisdom here. Not every moment requires action. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is be still, be present, be ready. Let that thought settle over you like the warm air of the forest. Be still, be patient. Like the harpy eagle, know that your moment will come. Now let us turn our attention to the question that drives all of predator existence. What does the harpy eagle eat? The answer is both simple and complex. Simply put, the harpy eagle eats whatever it can catch in the treetops. But the details reveal a sophisticated understanding of the forest's abundance and the seasonal rhythms of prey availability. Sloths form the foundation of the harpy's diet in much of its range. These slow-moving, leaf-eating mammals are perfect prey for the eagle, large enough to provide substantial nutrition, common enough to be reliably found, slow enough to be caught with relative ease. There are two main types of sloths in the Neotropical forests: the three-toed sloths of the genus Bradypus and the two-toed sloths of the genus Chiloepus. Both are taken by harpy eagles, but studies suggest a preference for the three-toed species when both are available. The brown-throated three-toed sloth, Bradypus variatus, is particularly important. In a 3-year study in the Brazilian Amazon, researchers analyzing prey remains at harpy eagle nests found that this single species comprised the majority of the biomass fed to chicks. The sloths were not just a convenience, they were the primary food source that allowed the eagles to successfully raise their young. Why sloths? Consider their ecology. Sloths are folivores, leaf eaters. Leaves are abundant in the rainforest, available year-round. This means sloths can maintain relatively high population densities without the dramatic fluctuations that affect fruit-eating or insect-eating animals. From the eagle's perspective, sloths are a reliable, predictable resource. Sloths are also slow. Their entire physiology is adapted for energy conservation. Their metabolic rate is about half that of a mammal of comparable size. They move through the canopy with deliberate slowness, their muscles optimized for hanging and gripping rather than rapid locomotion. A sloth can climb and traverse branches, but it cannot flee in the way a monkey can. Moreover, sloths are camouflaged but not hidden. They spend much of their time in the open canopy where leaves are most abundant and tender. An eagle watching from a high perch can spot them relatively easily, especially when they move. But sloths are not the only prey. Monkeys feature prominently in the harpy eagle's diet, particularly in areas where sloths are less common. Howler monkeys, those deep-voiced primates whose roaring calls can be heard for miles, are frequent prey. Despite their size and their habit of traveling in troops, howlers are vulnerable. They are relatively slow-moving for monkeys, and they spend considerable time sitting still while digesting their leafy diet. An eagle that catches a howler troop at a moment of inattention can strike before the alarm is raised. Capuchin monkeys are also taken, though they are more challenging prey. Capuchins are quick, intelligent, and highly social. They have excellent vision and they maintain sentinel behavior, individuals watching for threats while others feed. But they are abundant in many forests, and an eagle patient enough to wait for a mistake will eventually be rewarded. Spider monkeys, with their long limbs and spectacular agility, might seem difficult to catch,
but they too fall prey to harpy eagles. The eagles often target juveniles or isolated individuals, avoiding the risk of attacking when the full troop is present and alert. The list of prey extends far beyond sloths and monkeys. Porcupines, opossums, kinkajous, coatis, any arboreal mammal of appropriate size might end up in the eagle's talons. Studies have documented over 100 different prey species taken by harpy eagles across their range. Birds, too, are hunted. Large species like macaws, toucans, and curassows are preferred. These provide a good return of meat for the energy invested in the chase. Smaller birds are generally ignored, not worth the effort for a predator of the harpy's size. Reptiles make up a surprisingly large portion of the diet in some regions. Green iguanas are common prey in Central America. These large lizards bask on branches in the canopy where they are visible and vulnerable. Snakes are sometimes taken, as are large tortoises, though how an eagle catches a tortoise is a question worth pondering. Perhaps they are snatched from riverbanks or forest clearings where they come to lay eggs. In rare cases, harpy eagles have even been documented taking small deer fawns. This occurs at forest edges or clearings where the eagles can access the ground. A fawn weighing 4 or 5 kilograms is near the upper limit of what an eagle can carry, but females have been observed managing such loads. The harpy eagle's digestive system is robust and efficient. Like all raptors, they swallow their food in large chunks, sometimes consuming entire small animals, bones, fur, and all. The powerful acids of the stomach break down the meat and extract nutrients. What cannot be digested, bones, fur, feathers, scales, is compacted into a pellet and regurgitated hours later. These pellets are valuable to researchers. By collecting and analyzing them, scientists can determine exactly what the eagles have been eating. Each pellet is like a diary entry, recording a meal and providing insight into prey selection and seasonal diet variation. Interestingly, harpy eagles show a tolerance for slightly rotten meat. In captivity, they will eat meat that has been stored for several days without ill effect. This makes ecological sense. In the wild, a large kill might provide more food than can be consumed immediately. Rather than waste the excess, the eagle can return to the carcass over several days.
The eagle's hunting efficiency varies with the season and with the age of the bird. Adult eagles, experienced and skilled, may succeed in 8 or 9 out of every 10 strikes. They know how to read the forest, when to wait, when to attack. Juveniles, still learning their craft, have much lower success rates. A young eagle might attempt 20 strikes before successfully killing its prey. This is why the long learning period is so critical. Juvenile harpy eagles remain with their parents for 10 to 12 months after fledging, during which time they are fed and they observe their parents hunting. They practice on inanimate objects, leaves falling through the canopy, dangling vines, even their own shadow on the ground. Slowly, incrementally, they build the skills necessary to survive on their own. The role of the harpy eagle as an apex predator extends beyond simply feeding itself. By controlling populations of mesopredators, medium-sized predators like capuchin monkeys, the eagle indirectly protects smaller species. Capuchin monkeys are intelligent and opportunistic. They will raid birds' nests, eating eggs and nestlings. They will catch and eat lizards, frogs, and large insects. In forests where harpy eagles are present and active, capuchin populations are kept in check. This allows smaller birds and other vulnerable species to thrive. Remove the harpy eagle from the ecosystem and the balance shifts. Capuchin populations increase, nest predation intensifies, bird diversity declines. The forest begins to change in subtle but measurable ways. This is why ecologists refer to the harpy eagle as an umbrella species. Protecting the harpy eagle, ensuring it has enough forest to hunt, enough prey to sustain its slow reproductive rate, means protecting the entire ecosystem. The harpy's survival shelters hundreds of other species beneath its wings. Let your mind rest on this interconnection. The eagle eats the sloth eats the leaves grow from the tree The tree provides homes for birds and insects. The insects pollinate flowers. The flowers become fruit. The fruit feeds monkeys. The monkeys, in turn, may feed the eagle. Everything is connected, cycling, balanced. You are part of this web too. Every breath you take brings in oxygen produced by the forest. Every exhalation releases carbon that the trees will use. We are all connected, all part of the same great dance of life. Rest in this knowledge. Let it soothe you. The forest provides. The eagle endures. The cycle continues. In the world of birds of prey, intelligence is often overlooked. We admire their physical prowess, their talons, their speed, their vision, but we sometimes forget that hunting complex, intelligent prey requires a mind to match. The harpy eagle is among the most intelligent of all eagles. This intelligence manifests in many ways: in problem solving, in learning, in behavioral flexibility, and most remarkably, in what can only be described as strategic thinking. Let us begin with the most fascinating example: the harpy eagle's use of vocalization in hunting. Most predators hunt silently. Stealth is the watchword. Any sound might alert the prey and ruin the attack. But harpy eagles sometimes do something unexpected. They call loudly just before they attack. This seems counterintuitive. Why would you announce your presence to prey that is already wary and watchful? The answer lies in the sophistication of the harpy strategy. The eagle is not simply announcing its presence, it is gathering information. The call is a probe, a test of the prey's awareness and defensive coordination. Here is how it works. When a harpy eagle calls, the prey animals, typically a troop of monkeys, react. If the monkeys are vigilant and well organized, they will immediately give a coordinated alarm call. The troop will move together, adults protecting juveniles, individuals taking defensive positions. Their response is swift and unified. When the eagle hears this coordinated response, it often chooses not to attack. The monkeys are prepared. The risk of injury or failure is too high. Instead, the eagle waits or moves to a different location. But if the monkey's response is disorganized, if they scatter chaotically, if some seem unaware of the threat, if their alarm calls are confused or delayed, the eagle knows this is a vulnerable troop. It attacks immediately, often successfully. In essence, the harpy eagle is using its call as a diagnostic tool. It is assessing the prey's defensive capability before committing to the energetically costly and potentially dangerous attack. This is not instinct. This is calculation. The intelligence of this strategy becomes even more apparent when we consider the prey's response over time. Researchers studying harpy eagles and howler monkeys discovered something remarkable. In areas where harpy eagles had been absent for generations, howler monkeys had lost their anti-predator behaviors. When researchers reintroduced eagles to one such area, a forested island, the monkeys initially had no idea how to respond. They had never seen a harpy eagle. They had no specific alarm calls for aerial threats. But within months, the howler monkeys began to adapt. They learned to recognize the silhouette of the harpy eagle. They developed a new alarm call specifically for this threat, distinct from their calls for terrestrial predators like jaguars. They began coordinating their defensive responses. Females would grab infants and hide them in dense foliage. Males would spread out to watch different directions and give early warnings. When the eagle called, the troop would rally together, making it clear they were alert and organized. And the eagles, in turn, adapted. Researchers observed that eagles would leave troops that gave strong, coordinated alarms, focusing instead on younger, less organized groups. The predator and prey were locked in a real-time evolutionary arms race, each adapting to the other's tactics within a single generation.
This kind of behavioral flexibility, the ability to learn new strategies, to assess and respond to changing circumstances, requires significant cognitive capacity. It is the intelligence of a chess player, thinking several moves ahead, adjusting strategy based on the opponent's responses. The harpy eagle's intelligence is also evident in its learning process. Unlike some predatory species, where hunting behavior is largely instinctual, harpy eagles must learn their craft through extended practice and observation. A young harpy eagle fledges, takes its first flight, at about 5 to 6 months of age, but it cannot hunt effectively. It does not know how to judge distances in three-dimensional space. It does not understand the behavior patterns of different prey species. It cannot accurately predict where a monkey will jump or how a sloth will react. So, it practices. Hour after hour, day after day, the juvenile harpy eagle practices striking inanimate objects. Falling leaves are a favorite target. They move unpredictably in the air currents, providing a challenge. The young eagle will dive at them, trying to grab them in its talons before they hit the ground. Dangling vines, swaying branches, even insects buzzing past, all become practice targets. The juvenile is building muscle memory, learning the complex mathematics of interception. If the target is moving at this speed in that direction, and I am here moving this fast, where must I aim to make contact? This learning period lasts for months. During this time, the juvenile still depends on its parents for food. It returns to the nest regularly to beg for meals, calling loudly until a parent arrives with prey. The parents continue to feed their offspring, even as they teach by example, demonstrating proper hunting techniques. Gradually, the young eagle's attempts become more successful. It graduates from leaves to larger targets, perhaps a lizard basking on a branch or a slow-moving bird. These early hunts are clumsy, often unsuccessful, but each failure is a lesson.
By the time the juvenile is 10 to 12 months old, it can usually catch enough food to survive on its own. But even then, it may remain in its parents' territory for several more months, honing its skills before dispersing to find its own hunting grounds. This extended learning period is unusual among birds of prey. Many raptors are independent within weeks of fledging, but the harpy eagle's prey is more complex, the environment more challenging, and the cost of failure more severe. Better to invest years in learning and live a long life than to rush to independence and starve. The harpy's problem-solving abilities extend to other domains as well. In captivity, harpy eagles have demonstrated the ability to manipulate objects to obtain food, to remember the locations of hidden items, and to recognize individual humans and respond differently to different people. Zookeepers working with harpy eagles report that the birds have distinct personalities. Some are bold and curious, others cautious and reserved. Some eagerly participate in training sessions, others remain aloof. This behavioral variation suggests individual intelligence, the capacity for each eagle to develop its own unique approach to life. In the wild, this intelligence translates into hunting versatility. An experienced harpy eagle has a mental map of its territory. It knows where the salt licks are, where the fruiting trees attract monkeys, where the sloths are most common. It learns the patterns of its prey. Howler monkeys are most vulnerable in the early morning when they are sluggish from the cool night. Capuchins are easiest to catch during the midday heat when they rest. Sloths descend to the ground once a week to defecate and are exposed during these rare terrestrial excursions. The eagle integrates all of this information, using it to maximize hunting efficiency. This is not random searching. This is informed, strategic predation. There is a philosophical dimension to this intelligence that is worth contemplating. The harpy eagle is not conscious in the way humans are conscious. It does not ponder its existence or plan for a distant future, but it is aware. It perceives, it remembers, it learns, it adapts. In the eagle's brain, a brain no larger than a walnut, there exists a model of the world. This model includes the geography of the territory, the habits of prey species, the techniques that have worked in the past, the dangers to avoid. This model is constantly updated with new information. When the eagle sits on its perch, still and patient, it is not simply waiting passively. It is actively observing, constantly refining its model, preparing for the moment when opportunity and preparation align. There is a lesson here about the nature of intelligence itself. We often equate intelligence with human-style reasoning, language, abstract thought, self-reflection, but intelligence takes many forms. The harpy eagle's intelligence is embodied, spatial, intuitive. It is the intelligence of a master craftsman, someone who knows their trade so deeply that skill becomes second nature. Watch a harpy eagle hunt, and you are watching expertise perfected over millions of years of evolution, and then individualized through years of practice. Every movement is precise, every decision informed by experience. This is intelligence in action. As you rest here, in this moment, consider your own intelligence. Not just your ability to reason or remember facts, but your embodied knowledge, the skills you have practiced until they became automatic, the intuitions you have developed through experience, the wisdom that comes from paying attention to the world around you. You, like the harpy eagle, are learning, adapting, growing. Each day adds to your internal model of the world. Each experience teaches you something new. You are more intelligent than you realize, if only you trust in the wisdom of your accumulated experience. Rest in this knowledge. Let it comfort you. Intelligence is not just what happens in your thinking mind. It is in your hands, your instincts, your memories, your dreams. You are remarkable, just as the harpy eagle is remarkable. To understand the harpy eagle fully, we must understand its reproductive cycle, for it is here, in the raising of the next generation, that the species' greatest vulnerability lies. The harpy eagle reproduces slowly, painfully slowly from a conservation perspective. A pair of harpy eagles typically produces just one fledgling every 2 to 3 years. This is among the longest reproductive cycles of any bird. Why so slow? The answer lies in the massive investment required to raise a single chick to independence. Let us follow the cycle from the beginning. Harpy eagles are monogamous. They pair for life, or at least for as long as both partners survive. A mated pair may remain together for decades, returning year after year to the same nesting territory. They know each other intimately, their calls, their habits, their preferred hunting perches. They are partners in the truest sense. The courtship and pair bonding of harpy eagles is gentle and affectionate. The eagles will perch together, preening each other's feathers. They engage in bill rubbing, touching their beaks together in a gesture that seems almost like a kiss. They call softly to one another, maintaining the bond that will sustain them through the long process of raising their chick. When the time comes to breed, the pair begins nest construction or renovation. Harpy eagles do not build a new nest each year. Instead, they return to the same massive structure, adding new material, repairing damage, expanding and reinforcing. The nest site is chosen with great care. The eagles seek out the largest, tallest trees in the forest, often emergent species that rise above the main canopy. Kapok trees with their massive, straight trunks and spreading crowns are favored. Brazil nut trees, silk cotton trees, any giant of the forest will do. The height is important. Nests are typically placed 27 to 43 meters above the ground, that's 90 to 140 feet up, near the top of the tree but sheltered by the uppermost branches. At this height, the nest is safe from ground predators and provides a commanding view of the surrounding forest. The nest itself is an engineering marvel. It consists of a platform of sticks woven together and added to over years or even decades.
A mature nest can be 1.5 meters wide and more than a meter thick. The structure is strong enough to support not just the eggs and chicks, but both adult eagles when they visit together. The interior is lined with softer materials, fresh green leaves, moss, animal fur, feathers. The eagles refresh this lining regularly, especially during the nesting season. Scientists believe the fresh green leaves serve multiple purposes. They may provide a softer, cooler surface for the egg and chick. They may help fumigate the nest against parasites through the natural compounds in the leaves, and they may help regulate humidity in the nest bowl. When the nest is ready, the female lays her eggs. Typically, she lays 2 eggs, though sometimes only 1. The eggs are roughly the size of chicken eggs, but more elongated, white with occasional brown speckles. Here is where the harpy eagle's reproductive strategy becomes particularly interesting. When the female lays 2 eggs, they are her insurance policy. She incubates both eggs with equal care, but once the first chick hatches, the parents usually stop incubating the second egg. The second egg will not hatch. It remains in the nest, a backup that was prepared but not needed. Scientists believe this is an adaptation to the harpy's environment. Eggs can fail for many reasons. They might be infertile, they might be damaged by a storm, they might be taken by a predator like a toucan or a monkey. By laying 2 eggs, the female ensures that even if one fails, she still has a chance to produce a chick that year. But the harpy eagle cannot raise 2 chicks. The food demands would be too great, the investment too costly. Better to focus all resources on a single offspring and give it the best possible chance of survival. The incubation period lasts approximately 56 days. That is nearly 2 months of sitting, keeping the egg warm in all weather. This task falls primarily to the female. She performs about 97% of the incubation duties. The male helps occasionally, giving the female brief breaks to stretch and preen, but his main job during this time is hunting. Every 7 days, on average, the male brings food to the female. She feeds, then returns to the egg. This schedule continues throughout incubation. It is a period of patience and vulnerability. The female is exposed on the nest, relying entirely on her mate to keep her fed. Finally, after 8 long weeks, the egg begins to pip. The chick inside, fully formed, uses its egg tooth, a small, sharp projection on the beak, to crack the shell from within. The process can take many hours, but eventually the chick breaks free. The newly hatched harpy eagle chick is a tiny, helpless thing. It weighs just a few ounces, covered in pure white down so fine it looks like dandelion fluff. Its eyes are closed, its legs are weak. It cannot regulate its own body temperature. It is completely dependent on its parents for everything. The mother broods the chick almost continuously for the first few weeks, keeping it warm and dry. The father's hunting frequency increases dramatically. Instead of bringing food every 7 days, he now hunts every 3.5 days, providing more frequent meals to support both the female and the rapidly growing chick. The mother tears meat into tiny pieces, offering them to the chick on the tip of her beak. The chick's instinct is to gape, to open its mouth wide, and the mother delicately places food inside. This process requires patience and care. A harpy eagle's beak and talons could easily injure the fragile chick, but the parents are remarkably gentle. The chick grows quickly, doubling and tripling its weight in the first weeks. By the time it is a month old, it can sit up and is beginning to look more like a miniature eagle, though still covered in downy white feathers. At 2 months, the chick is noticeably larger. It exercises its wings, flapping to build the muscles it will need for flight. It snaps at insects that wander into the nest, practicing the coordination that will one day allow it to catch monkeys in mid-flight. By 3 months, the white down is being replaced by darker juvenile plumage. The chick is nearly as large as an adult now, though its feathers are not yet fully formed and its flight muscles are still developing. The transition to fledging happens around 22 to 24 weeks, about 5 to 6 months after hatching. The young eagle, now more confident, begins making short flights from the nest to nearby branches. These first flights are clumsy, awkward.
The juvenile often flaps frantically, barely managing to control its direction, landing with a graceless thud. But with practice comes improvement. Within days, the juvenile is flying between trees, exploring the canopy around the nest. It still returns to the nest regularly. This is home, the place of safety and food, but it is beginning to discover the wider world. Now comes the longest phase of the chick's development, the extended dependency period. Even though the juvenile can fly, it cannot hunt. It depends on its parents for food for many more months. The parents continue to bring prey to the nest or to specific feeding perches. The juvenile begs loudly, calling with a high-pitched whistle whenever it sees a parent approaching. These begging calls can be heard from great distances, a persistent pleading that the parents eventually answer. During this time, the juvenile is learning. It watches its parents hunt. It practices on its own, attempting to catch things and usually failing. It builds the stamina needed for sustained flight. It learns to navigate the three-dimensional maze of the canopy. This period lasts for 10 to 12 months. By the time the juvenile is a year and a half old, it is finally capable of hunting with some success. But even then, the parents may not immediately drive it away. The family territory is large enough that the juvenile can remain, still benefiting from the occasional meals shared by the parents, while it perfects its hunting skills. Full independence usually comes at around 18 months to 2 years of age. At this point, the parents stop feeding the juvenile. They may become actively aggressive, chasing the young eagle out of the territory. This seems harsh, but it is necessary. The parents need to prepare for the next breeding cycle, and the territory cannot support 3 adult-sized eagles. The now independent young eagle disperses, traveling distances that can be quite considerable, sometimes 100 kilometers or more, in search of unoccupied territory. This is a dangerous time. Many young harpy eagles die during their dispersal period, killed by starvation, unable to find suitable habitat, or falling victim to human activities. Those that survive will spend several years as wanderers, gradually improving their hunting skills, growing stronger, waiting for the opportunity to claim a territory and find a mate of their own. Sexual maturity comes late for harpy eagles. They're not ready to breed until they are 4 to 6 years old. This is remarkably late compared to many birds. A robin might breed at 1 year old, a red-tailed hawk at 2 or 3. But the harpy eagle takes its time, ensuring that it is fully skilled and experienced before taking on the challenge of raising the next generation. When we consider the full cycle, 2 to 3 years from egg-laying to the fledgling's independence, another 4 to 6 years until that fledgling is ready to breed, we begin to understand why harpy eagle populations are so vulnerable. The replacement rate is incredibly slow. Each adult eagle is precious, the repository of years of learned hunting knowledge and genetic adaptation. Lose an adult harpy eagle to hunting or habitat destruction, and it may be 6 to 8 years before that individual is replaced by one of its offspring reaching breeding age. In a rapidly changing landscape where forests are being cleared at accelerating rates, the eagle's slow reproduction cannot keep pace with the rate of loss. This is the tragedy of the harpy eagle. It is perfectly adapted to the stable, ancient forests it has evolved in. But those forests are disappearing, and the eagle cannot adapt quickly enough to survive in the fragmented landscape that remains. As you rest here, consider the patience required to raise a single chick over the course of 2 years. Consider the dedication of the parent eagles, bringing food day after day, protecting their offspring, teaching by example. There is a profound lesson in this slow process. In our modern world, we are accustomed to speed, to instant results, to rapid turnover. But some things cannot be rushed.
Some things require time, patience, dedication. Let the eagle's patience inspire your own. Let its dedication remind you that the slow work is often the most important work. Rest now. Breathe deeply. The forest around you is timeless, patient, enduring. You are part of this great cycle, this slow dance of generations. Rest.
The harpy eagle does not hunt in isolation. It is part of a vast, interconnected web of life, and its role extends far beyond simply feeding itself and its offspring. As an apex predator, the harpy eagle shapes the entire ecosystem in which it lives. This concept is sometimes difficult to grasp. How can a single species, existing in low densities, perhaps one pair per 100 square kilometers, have such profound effects on an entire forest? The answer lies in the concept of top-down regulation. The harpy eagle, by controlling populations of medium-sized predators and herbivores, creates ripple effects that cascade through the ecosystem. Consider the capuchin monkey. These intelligent, opportunistic primates are omnivores with a taste for protein. They raid birds' nests, stealing eggs and eating nestlings. They hunt large insects, lizards, and even small mammals when the opportunity arises. Capuchins are clever and persistent, and in the absence of predators, their populations can grow quite large. But capuchins are also prey for harpy eagles. An eagle's presence in a forest keeps capuchin populations in check. Individual monkeys become more cautious, spending less time exposed in the canopy, being more vigilant. This caution means they spend less time hunting other species. The result? Bird species that nest in the mid-canopy suffer less predation. Their populations can thrive. Insect populations, freed from some predation pressure, can maintain their ecological roles as pollinators and decomposers. The forest's diversity increases. Remove the harpy eagle, and this balance shifts. Capuchin populations increase. They hunt more actively, raiding more nests, eating more eggs. Bird diversity declines. The cascade continues down through the ecosystem. Fewer birds means less seed dispersal, fewer insects means less pollination, and the forest gradually becomes less diverse, less resilient. This is why ecologists call the harpy eagle an umbrella species. Protect the harpy eagle, provide it with enough undisturbed forest to hunt, enough prey to sustain its slow reproductive cycle, and you automatically protect hundreds of other species that share its habitat. A breeding pair of harpy eagles requires a territory of approximately 10,000 hectares. That's 100 square kilometers, or about 39 square miles. This is an enormous area of unbroken forest. Within that territory, you will find jaguars patrolling the forest floor in the lower canopy, tapirs moving through the understory, dispersing seeds with their dung, hundreds of tree species, each providing food and shelter for specialized insects, birds, and mammals, thousands of insect species, pollinating flowers, decomposing fallen leaves, cycling nutrients, amphibians and reptiles controlling insect populations, serving as food for larger predators, countless fungal species breaking down dead wood, forming partnerships with tree roots. All of this biodiversity, all of this complexity is protected when we protect the harpy eagle's territory. The eagle is the flagship, the symbol, but what we are really protecting is the entire forest ecosystem. This is the power of conservation focused on keystone and umbrella species. By directing our efforts toward protecting the harpy eagle, we create sanctuaries that benefit countless other species. But the harpy eagle's influence extends beyond ecological function into the realm of culture and human society. For the indigenous peoples who share the forest with the eagle, this bird holds deep symbolic meaning. Many tribes view the harpy eagle as a representation of power, wisdom, and spiritual authority. The bird's fearsome appearance, its commanding presence, and its position at the top of the food chain make it a natural symbol for chiefs and warriors. The Uru-Iuauau people of Brazil are sometimes called the Harpy eagle tribe because of their close cultural association with the bird. They use harpy eagle feathers in ceremonial headdresses, considering the feathers to be imbued with the eagle's strength and courage. These headdresses are not worn casually. They are reserved for important ceremonies, for celebrations, for the burials of significant members of the community. In some traditions, only certain people are allowed to wear harpy eagle feathers, those who have demonstrated bravery, wisdom, or leadership. The feathers are passed down through generations, becoming family heirlooms that carry the weight of history and meaning. The spiritual significance of the harpy eagle extends to hunting practices as well. Some tribes use harpy eagle feathers to fletch their arrows, believing that the feathers will guide the arrow true, just as the eagle's strikes never miss their mark. Whether this belief has any physical basis or is purely symbolic, it demonstrates the deep respect these communities have for the eagle. Beyond indigenous communities, the harpy eagle has become a national symbol in several countries. In Panama, the harpy eagle was officially designated as the national bird on April 10, 2002. This was more than a symbolic gesture. It represented a commitment to protecting the forests that the eagle requires. The state of Paraná in Brazil also claims the harpy eagle as its official bird, recognizing the species' importance to the Atlantic forest ecosystem. These official designations bring practical benefits. They raise public awareness, they justify conservation expenditures, they create opportunities for ecotourism, and they instill pride in local communities who live near harpy eagle territories.
Education programs built around the harpy eagle have proven particularly effective at changing attitudes. One of the most successful has been led by the Peregrine Fund, a conservation organization that has worked extensively with harpy eagles. The Peregrine Fund's program includes ambassador birds, captive harpy eagles that are brought to schools and community centers. Children and adults can see the eagle up close, can appreciate its beauty and power, can learn about its role in the ecosystem. One such ambassador, a bird named Luigi, traveled to hundreds of schools in Panama. The response was remarkable. People who had grown up fearing the harpy eagle or viewing it as a threat to livestock, despite the fact that harpy eagles almost never take domestic animals, came to see it as a magnificent creature worthy of protection. This shift in perception is crucial. Conservation cannot succeed through laws and protected areas alone. It requires a change in human attitudes, a recognition that the harpy eagle is not a threat, but a treasure. The harpy eagle has even entered global popular culture in unexpected ways. When filmmakers were designing Fox, the Phoenix, for the Harry Potter films, they used the harpy eagle as their visual reference. The facial disc, the crown of feathers, the fierce yet dignified bearing, all were inspired by the harpy. Millions of people around the world who have never seen a real harpy eagle have thus encountered its image, even if they don't realize it. This kind of cultural presence matters. It creates a baseline of familiarity, a sense that this is an animal worth knowing about, worth protecting. The challenge now is to channel that cultural awareness into effective conservation action. The harpy eagle needs more than admiration. It needs habitat, prey, and protection from human persecution. As an umbrella species, the harpy eagle's conservation has far-reaching implications. Every hectare of forest protected for the eagle is also home to medicinal plants that might one day yield treatments for human diseases, genetic diversity that could be crucial for crops as the climate changes, carbon storage that helps regulate the global climate, water filtration that provides clean water to downstream communities, soil stabilization that prevents erosion and flooding.
The forest is not just the eagle's home. It is the life support system for millions of people. By protecting the harpy eagle, we protect ourselves. This is the great irony of conservation. We frame it as saving other species, but in reality, we are saving ourselves. The oxygen we breathe, the water we drink,
the climate that makes human civilization possible all depend on the health of ecosystems like the rainforest. The harpy eagle is the guardian, but we are the beneficiaries. Every harpy eagle that survives is a testament to the health of the forest. Every chick that fledges successfully is a promise that the forest will endure. Let this knowledge settle into your heart. You are connected to the harpy eagle, to the forest, to the web of life that sustains all of us. What happens to the eagle matters to you, even if you live thousands of miles away, even if you never see a rainforest with your own eyes. Rest now in this connection. Feel yourself as part of the great web. You are not separate from nature. You are nature, expressing itself as consciousness, as awareness, as care. The harpy eagle soars above the canopy, and in doing so, it carries our hopes for a world where wildness still exists, where ancient forests still stand, where the cycles of life continue as they have for millions of years. Breathe with the forest. Rest with the eagle. You are home. Now we must turn to a more difficult subject, one that weighs heavy on the heart of anyone who loves the harpy eagle, its precarious future. The harpy eagle is currently classified as near threatened on the IUCN Red List globally. This means it is not yet endangered worldwide, but it is approaching the thresholds that would qualify it as vulnerable or endangered. However, this global classification masks severe regional declines. In many parts of Central America, Belize, Guatemala, El Salvador, the harpy eagle is critically endangered or already extinct. In Mexico, only scattered populations remain. Even in the Amazon heartland, where the eagle is still relatively common, populations are declining as deforestation accelerates. The threats facing the harpy eagle are multiple and interconnected, but they can be grouped into three main categories: habitat loss, direct persecution, and reproductive fragility. Let us begin with habitat loss, for this is the greatest threat. The harpy eagle is a habitat specialist. It requires large tracts of primary rainforest, old-growth forest that has never been logged, that maintains its complex vertical structure that supports abundant populations of arboreal prey. Secondary forest, areas that have regrown after logging or clearing, can sometimes support harpy eagles, but only if the regeneration is extensive and if prey populations have recovered. The eagle's territory size is the key constraint. A breeding pair needs approximately 10,000 hectares of suitable forest. This is not a preference, it is a requirement. With less territory, the pair cannot find enough prey to sustain themselves and successfully raise a chick every 2 to 3 years. When forests are fragmented, broken into smaller patches by roads, farms, and pastures, the harpy eagle's ability to find sufficient territory collapses. Research in Mato Grosso, Brazil, a state experiencing rapid deforestation for cattle ranching and soy farming, has shown that landscapes need at least 50% forest cover to support breeding harpy eagles. When forest cover drops below this 50% threshold, the eagles begin to disappear. Initially, adult birds may persist, but they stop breeding successfully. Juvenile eagles are found dead of starvation. There simply isn't enough prey to feed them. Within a generation, the population crashes. This pattern has played out across the harpy eagle's range. Areas that once supported healthy populations are now too fragmented, too disturbed. The eagles are gone, and the forest, even where it remains, is emptier, less complete.
The second major threat is direct persecution, humans killing eagles. Here is where the story becomes particularly heartbreaking. Unlike many predators that are killed because they threaten livestock or crops, harpy eagles are primarily killed out of simple curiosity. Because harpy eagles are not naturally afraid of humans, they are apex predators with no reason to fear anything, they will often allow people to approach quite closely. An eagle perched on a low branch might watch a human walk right up to it, curious about this strange bipedal creature, but not alarmed. This fearlessness is their downfall. People shoot the eagles simply to get a closer look, to have a trophy, to boast about killing such a magnificent bird. Studies in some areas suggest that up to 80% of harpy eagle killings fall into this category of curiosity killing. It is senseless, tragic, and preventable, but it continues, driven by a combination of ignorance, machismo, and the simple fact that in remote areas there is often no law enforcement presence to prevent it. Some eagles are also killed by ranchers who mistakenly believe the birds are a threat to livestock. In reality, harpy eagles almost never take domestic animals. Calves and goats are typically too large and too exposed for the eagle's hunting style. But the myth persists, and eagles are shot based on unfounded fears. Each adult harpy eagle that dies represents an enormous loss. That bird may have been 20 or 30 years old. It may have successfully raised a dozen chicks over its lifetime. Its hunting knowledge, accumulated over decades, dies with it. Its mate must now either find a new partner, if one is available, or abandon the territory. The ripple effects of a single eagle's death extend for years. The third threat is the eagle's own biology, the reproductive fragility that makes the species so vulnerable to disturbance. One chick every 2 to 3 years, late sexual maturity, long juvenile dependency. These traits evolved in stable, unchanging forests where adult survival was high. In such an environment, a slow reproductive rate is sustainable, even advantageous, as it allows parents to invest heavily in each offspring. But in a rapidly changing landscape where habitat is disappearing and human-caused mortality is high, this slow reproduction becomes a critical weakness. The harpy eagle cannot quickly recover from population declines. Each setback, a nest tree logged, an adult eagle killed, a chick starving during a drought, sets the population back for years. Moreover, harpy eagles are sensitive to disturbance during nesting. If approached too closely by humans, if subjected to noise from logging up construction, the parents may abandon the nest, allowing the egg or chick to die. Even ecotourism, well-intentioned but poorly managed, can cause nest abandonment. This creates a cruel paradox. The more we want to see and photograph harpy eagles, the more we risk driving them away from the very places where they are trying to breed. The cumulative effect of these threats is a species in retreat. The harpy eagle's range is contracting. Population densities are declining. Local extinctions are increasing. In countries like El Salvador and Honduras, the harpy eagle may already be extinct. No confirmed sightings in decades. In Mexico, only a few pairs remain. Even in Panama and Costa Rica, countries with strong conservation programs, the eagle is rare and declining. The greatest stronghold remains the Amazon basin, where vast areas of relatively intact forest still exist. But even here, the tide is turning. Deforestation rates in the Amazon have accelerated in recent years. Roads penetrate deeper into once remote areas. Forest is converted to pasture and cropland at alarming rates. If current trends continue, scientists predict that harpy eagles will disappear from most of their historical range within the next 50 to 100 years, persisting only in the most remote and protected areas. This would be a catastrophic loss, not just of a magnificent species, but of an entire web of ecological relationships. The forests without harpy eagles would be different, diminished, less resilient. And yet, there is hope. This is not a story with an inevitable tragic ending. The harpy eagle can be saved if we choose to act. Conservation efforts underway around the range give us reason for optimism. The Peregrine Fund's captive breeding and reintroduction program has successfully released dozens of eagles into the wild in Panama and Belize. These birds, raised in captivity and then gradually introduced to the wild through a process called hacking, have survived and in some cases bred successfully. The techniques developed through this program, understanding the eagle's environmental needs, perfecting artificial incubation,
managing pair bonding in captivity have created a blueprint that can be replicated elsewhere. Protected areas, when properly enforced, provide safe havens. National parks and wildlife reserves in countries like Ecuador, Peru, and Brazil have maintained healthy harpy eagle populations. These parks serve as genetic reservoirs, places where the species can persist even as the landscape around them changes. Community-based conservation, where local people are engaged as stewards of the eagle and its forest, has shown remarkable success. When communities benefit from ecotourism, when they take pride in their harpy eagles, when they understand the eagle's ecological importance, they become the eagle's most effective protectors. Education programs continue to change attitudes. Each generation of children who grow up learning about the harpy eagle, seeing it as a symbol of their natural heritage rather than a threat or a trophy, is a generation more likely to protect it.
And there are new tools emerging. Satellite tracking allows researchers to follow individual eagles, understanding their movements, their territory use, their survival rates. This data informs better conservation planning. Genetic studies reveal the connectivity between populations, showing where corridors of forest are needed to allow gene flow. This helps prioritize which lands to protect. Remote sensing and drones can monitor forest cover and detect illegal logging in near real time, allowing rapid response to threats. The science is improving. The political will is growing. The public awareness is increasing. The harpy eagle can be saved. It will require commitment, resources, and international cooperation. It will require protecting large landscapes, controlling human population growth in frontier areas, providing economic alternatives to forest clearing. But it can be done, and it must be done. As you rest here, consider your own role in this story. You may think you are powerless to affect the fate of a bird living thousands of miles away in a rainforest you may never visit, but you are not powerless. Every choice you make about what you consume, where you travel, what organizations you support, what politicians you elect, these choices ripple outward. They affect demand for products that drive deforestation. They influence policies that protect or destroy habitat. They shape the world your children will inherit. You are part of the solution or part of the problem. There is no neutral position. The harpy eagle's survival depends in part on you, on your awareness, your care, your willingness to make choices that prioritize life over convenience, preservation over profit. This is not a burden, it is an opportunity, a chance to be part of something larger than yourself, to contribute to the preservation of wonder, to ensure that future generations will live in a world where wild things still exist. The harpy eagle asks nothing of you directly. It does not know you exist, but it depends on you nonetheless. Rest in this knowledge. Let it motivate you, but do not let it overwhelm you. Small actions multiplied by millions of people create transformative change. You are part of the web of life. Your actions matter. The choices you make today will echo into the future, affecting lives and ecosystems you will never see. Choose wisely. Choose with compassion. Choose with awareness of your connection to all life. The harpy eagle soars above the canopy, magnificent and vulnerable. Its future is unwritten. We will write it together through our collective choices in the years to come.
As we near the end of our journey together, let us turn our thoughts to the future. Not the dark future of loss and extinction, but the possible future of hope and recovery. Imagine, if you will, a different world. Not a perfect world, but a better one. A world where humans have learned to coexist with nature rather than conquer it. In this imagined future, the Amazon basin remains largely intact. Deforestation has stopped, not because all human activity has ceased, but because we have learned to extract what we need from the forest without destroying it. Sustainable harvesting of Brazil nuts, acai berries, medicinal plants, and other non-timber forest products provides income to communities without requiring them to clear the land. Indigenous territories are respected and protected, their traditional knowledge of forest management informing modern conservation strategies. These communities, who have lived sustainably in the forest for thousands of years, are recognized as the true experts, their wisdom valued rather than dismissed. Tourism has been carefully managed to provide revenue without causing disturbance. Small groups visit harpy eagle nests under strict guidelines, viewing from a safe distance, spending their money in local communities, leaving with a profound appreciation for what they have witnessed. In this future, corridors of protected forest connect fragmented landscapes. Harpy eagles can move between territories, maintaining genetic diversity and allowing young eagles to find new homes without having to cross vast stretches of cleared land. Captive breeding programs have been phased out, not because they failed, but because they succeeded. Wild populations are now self-sustaining. The eagles released decades ago have bred successfully, their descendants spreading through recovered forests, reclaiming territory that had been lost. In Central America, where the harpy eagle had been driven to the brink, populations are rebounding. Forest restoration projects, funded by international carbon credits and ecotourism revenue, have created new habitat. Eagles reintroduced from Panama have established territories in Guatemala, Honduras, even El Salvador. In this future, monitoring technology has advanced to the point where we can track individual eagles throughout their lives without disturbing them. Tiny solar-powered transmitters that weigh mere grams provide data on movement, hunting success, nesting attempts. This information allows conservationists to intervene early when problems arise, perhaps supplemental feeding during drought or protection of a newly discovered nest site. Education programs have produced a generation that views nature not as something separate from human life, but as integral to it. Children in Amazonian communities grow up knowing the scientific names of dozens of rainforest species. They understand food webs, nutrient cycles, the value of biodiversity. Some of these children become the scientists, park rangers, and political leaders who ensure that conservation remains a priority. The harpy eagle has become more than a species to be protected. It has become a symbol of successful conservation, proof that when humanity commits to preservation, we can reverse even severe declines. In cities far from the rainforest, people have become more conscious of their connection to distant ecosystems. The coffee they drink, the chocolate they eat, the wood furniture in their homes. They trace these products back to their origins, choosing sustainable options that don't require forest destruction. Major corporations, responding to consumer demand and regulatory pressure, have eliminated deforestation from their supply chains. Cattle ranching in the Amazon has shifted to intensification on existing pastures rather than expansion into new forest. Soy production has been redirected to already cleared land. Palm oil plantations are certified sustainable, maintaining biodiversity corridors. These changes did not happen overnight. They required decades of advocacy, policy work, economic innovation, and grassroots pressure. But they happened because enough people decided that the alternative, a world without rainforests, without harpy eagles, without the countless other species that depend on these ecosystems, was unacceptable. In this imagined future, ecotourism has matured into a truly sustainable industry. Lodges built from sustainable materials, powered by solar panels, treating their waste properly, employ local people and contribute a portion of their profits to conservation. Visitors come not to conquer nature, but to experience it, to learn from it, to be humbled by it. They sit in observation towers at dawn, watching harpy eagles launch from their roosts to begin the day's hunt. They listen to naturalist guides who can identify every bird call, who know the life histories of the trees and vines, who tell stories that connect the visitor emotionally to the forest. These visitors return home changed. They become ambassadors for conservation in their own communities. They support organizations working to protect the rainforest. They make choices in their daily lives that reduce their impact. The experience of seeing a harpy eagle in the wild, that moment of connection with a wild, powerful, free creature, ripples outward, affecting others who will never visit the forest themselves. In this future, scientific research has unlocked many of the harpy eagle's remaining mysteries. We understand the full complexity of their communication system, the nuances of their social bonds, the cognitive processes that underlie their hunting strategies. This knowledge doesn't diminish the eagle's majesty. If anything, it increases our appreciation for the sophistication of this species. We have also learned to apply lessons from the harpy eagle's biology to other conservation challenges. The techniques developed for eagle reintroduction have been adapted for other species. The forest corridors created to protect eagle habitat serve dozens of other species as well. Most importantly, the harpy eagle's recovery has demonstrated that large, slow-reproducing apex predators can persist in human-dominated landscapes if we make the effort to accommodate them. This has implications for jaguar conservation, for large primates, for every species that requires extensive territory and undisturbed habitat. In this imagined future, climate change has been mitigated enough that the rainforest, though stressed, has not collapsed. International agreements to reduce emissions, combined with massive reforestation efforts and protection of existing forests, have kept warming below catastrophic levels. The Amazon still generates its own rainfall, still cycles carbon, still provides the ecological services that sustain life on Earth. The harpy eagle, as an indicator species, tells us the forest is healthy. Where harpies thrive, the ecosystem thrives. Their presence is a barometer of success, a reminder that our conservation efforts are working. This future is not inevitable. It is not even probable given current trends, but it is possible. Every element of it exists as an idea, a pilot program, a proof of concept somewhere in the world. What remains is to scale these solutions up, to apply them consistently, to maintain the political will and public support necessary to see them through. The question is not whether we know how to save the harpy eagle and the rainforest. We do. The question is whether we will. That question will be answered by the choices made in the coming years by governments, corporations, communities, and individuals. It will be answered by you. What kind of future do you want? What kind of world do you want to leave to those who come after you? A world diminished and impoverished, where the harpy eagle exists only in photographs and memories? Or a world where wild places still exist, where a child can grow up dreaming of seeing an eagle in flight, and then, one day, perhaps, make that dream real? The choice seems obvious when stated so plainly, and yet, we continue to choose the path toward loss through inaction, through prioritizing short-term gain over long-term preservation. It doesn't have to be this way. You have the power to change the story. Through your voice, your vote, your purchasing decisions, your willingness to speak up for what matters. Through your donations to conservation organizations, your support for indigenous rights, your advocacy for stronger environmental protection. Through your example, teaching others about the interconnection of all life, spreading awareness of what is at stake, inspiring action through your own commitment. You are not powerless. You have never been powerless. And the harpy eagle, though it does not know you exist, depends on you using that power wisely. In 1,000 years, will there still be harpy eagles soaring above the Amazon canopy? Will the rainforest still stand, green and vast and vital? Will your descendants inherit a world of beauty and wildness, or a world reduced to human utility alone? The answer depends in part on what you choose to do today, tomorrow, in all the days to come. Rest now in this vision of a possible future. Hold it in your heart. Let it guide your choices. Let it give you hope when the news is discouraging, when the challenges seem overwhelming. The harpy eagle has survived for millions of years. With our help, it can survive for millions more. The story is not over. The ending has not been written. We are writing it now, together, and the pen is in your hands. Before we conclude our journey, let us spend a few more moments in quiet contemplation with the harpy eagle. For there is something deeply meditative about observing this bird, something that speaks to the human need for stillness and presence. The harpy eagle's hunting strategy, sitting motionless for hours, watching, waiting, is remarkably similar to meditation practice. The eagle demonstrates perfect presence, perfect attention. It is not dwelling on past hunts or worrying about future needs. It exists fully in the present moment, aware of everything around it, ready to act when the time is right. There is wisdom in this patience that our modern world has largely forgotten. We rush from task to task, our minds scattered across a dozen concerns, rarely fully present in any moment. We eat while checking our phones. We drive while planning tomorrow. We are everywhere except where we actually are. The harpy eagle teaches us a different way. It shows us that stillness is not emptiness, but fullness. That patience is not passive, but powerfully active. That waiting is not wasting time, but investing it wisely. Imagine adopting some of this eagle's presence in your own life. What would it feel like to be so completely focused on one thing that nothing else exists? To trust so deeply in the rightness of your timing that you can wait without anxiety, knowing your moment will come. The eagle perched on its branch is not bored. It is not frustrated by the wait. It simply is, existing in a state of alert calm that we might call mindfulness. Consider also the eagle's perspective, the literal view from its perch, high in the canopy. From this vantage point, the forest spreads out in all directions, a vast tapestry of green stretching to the horizon. Individual trees are visible, but so is the whole forest. Details are clear, but so is the larger pattern. This is the gift of elevation, the ability to see both the particular and the universal, the individual and the system. From the eagle's perch, a single monkey is visible, but so is the entire troop's movement through the canopy. A specific tree is in focus, but so is the overall health of the forest. In our own lives, we often get trapped in the details, unable to see the larger picture. We focus so intently on immediate problems that we lose sight of the bigger picture. Or conversely, we think so much about long-term goals that we miss the opportunities right in front of us. The harpy eagle teaches us a different way. It shows us that stillness is not emptiness, but fullness. That patience is not passive, but powerfully active. That waiting is not wasting time, but investing it wisely. Imagine adopting some of this eagle's presence in your own life. What would it feel like to be so completely focused on one thing that nothing else exists? To trust so deeply in the rightness of your timing that you can wait without anxiety, knowing your moment will come. The eagle perched on its branch is not bored. It is not frustrated by the wait. It simply is, existing in a state of alert calm that we might call mindfulness. Consider also the eagle's perspective, the literal view from its perch high in the canopy. From this vantage point, the forest spreads out in all directions, a vast tapestry of green stretching to the horizon. Individual trees are visible, but so is the whole forest. Details are clear, but so is the larger pattern. This is the gift of elevation, the ability to see both the particular and the universal, the individual and the system. From the eagle's perch, a single monkey is visible, but so is the entire troop's movement through the canopy.
A specific tree is in focus, but so is the overall health of the forest. In our own lives, we often get trapped in the details, unable to see the larger patterns. We focus so intensely on immediate problems that we lose sight of the bigger picture. Or conversely, we think so much about long-term goals that we miss the opportunities right in front of us. The harpy eagle balances both perspectives simultaneously. It can see the large-scale movement of a monkey troop while also tracking the specific individual it will target. It understands both the forest ecosystem and the individual tree where it builds its nest. Let yourself imagine this dual awareness. Imagine being able to hold both the micro and the macro in your mind at once, to care deeply about individual moments while also understanding how they fit into the larger arc of your life. This is not an easy skill. It requires practice, just as the eagle's hunting skills require practice. But it is a skill worth developing, for it brings both effectiveness and peace. When you can see the larger pattern, individual setbacks become less overwhelming. When you can focus on the present moment, future anxieties lose their power. The eagle lives in this balanced state naturally. With intention, so can we. There is also something profound about the harpy eagle's relationship with gravity and flight. This massive bird, weighing up to 9 kilograms, can defy gravity not just for itself, but while carrying equally heavy prey. The physics of this are straightforward. Lift generated by the wings exceeds the weight being lifted, but the reality is magical. Think about what it means to fly, to push against the earth and rise, to move through 3-dimensional space with freedom, to see the world from angles impossible to those bound to the ground.
Humans have always envied birds this ability. We built myths around it. Icarus flying toward the sun, angels with feathered wings, shamans transforming into birds to travel between worlds. Flight represents transcendence, freedom, the ability to rise above our earthly constraints. The harpy eagle embodies this dream. When it launches from its perch and powers upward through the canopy, it demonstrates a mastery of flight that even other birds rarely achieve. It can fly straight up, defying gravity with pure strength. It can twist and turn through impossible spaces. It can carry loads that would ground lesser birds. What does this mean for us, who cannot fly? Perhaps it reminds us that we too can transcend our perceived limitations, not literally through flight, but metaphorically through growth, learning, achievement. You may feel weighed down by responsibilities, by fears, by past failures. The burdens you carry may seem too heavy to lift, but like the harpy eagle carrying its prey, you are stronger than you know. You have reserves of strength you haven't yet tapped. You can rise even while carrying heavy loads. This is not empty motivation. This is truth, reflected in biology and physics. The eagle isn't stronger than gravity. Gravity never loses. But the eagle has evolved tools, powerful wings, lightweight bones, efficient muscles that allow it to work with the laws of physics rather than against them. You too can develop tools, skills, knowledge, support systems, resilience. These tools don't make your burdens lighter, but they make you stronger, more capable of bearing them while still moving forward, still rising. The harpy eagle's life is not easy. It faces dangers, struggles, losses. Storms damage its nest, prey escapes, chicks die. The forest changes. But the eagle persists. It rebuilds. It hunts again. It breeds again. It adapts. This persistence in the face of difficulty is perhaps the eagle's greatest lesson. Not flashy, not dramatic, but profound. The eagle doesn't give up when hunting is difficult. It doesn't abandon its territory when a season is harsh. It endures. And in enduring, in showing up day after day, in doing the work that needs to be done, in maintaining its vigilance and its patience, it not only survives, but thrives.
It masters its environment. It successfully raises offspring. It maintains its place as apex predator.
There is deep wisdom here about the nature of success. Success is not a single achievement, a moment of glory. Success is the accumulation of small, consistent actions over time. It is showing up, doing the work, staying committed to what matters, even when it's difficult. The harpy eagle hunting is successful not because of one brilliant strike, but because of thousands of hours spent learning, watching, practicing. Its nest succeeds not because of one good day of construction, but because of years of maintenance and care. Its chick survives not because of one large meal, but because of hundreds of hunting trips, each one adding to the total nutrition needed for growth. This understanding can transform how we approach our own goals and challenges. We often expect dramatic breakthroughs, sudden transformations, but real, lasting change usually comes through steady, patient effort over time. The harpy eagle didn't become the apex predator overnight. It evolved over millions of years. Each individual eagle doesn't master hunting in a day, but over months and years of practice. The great forests it inhabits didn't spring up instantly, but grew tree by tree, year by year, over centuries. Everything worthwhile takes time. Everything worth doing requires patience, persistence, presence. As you rest here, breathing slowly, let this truth settle into your bones. You don't have to achieve everything today. You don't have to solve every problem immediately. You just have to show up, do what you can, and trust that consistent effort over time will lead you where you need to go. Like the harpy eagle on its perch, you can be patient, you can be present, you can trust in the process. We have spoken much about the harpy eagle as an individual, its body, its senses, its behaviors. But the eagle does not exist in isolation. It is a node in a vast web of relationships, connected to every other living thing in the forest. Let us trace some of these connections, for in doing so, we trace the connections that bind all life together. The harpy eagle eats the sloth. This is the most obvious connection, the direct predator-prey relationship. But follow the threads further. The sloth eats leaves from the cecropia tree. The cecropia tree grows rapidly in gaps in the canopy, colonizing spaces where older trees have fallen. The cecropia is pollinated by tiny insects and disperses its seeds through the droppings of bats and birds that eat its fruit. Those bats and birds are also connected to hundreds of other species, the plants they pollinate, the predators that hunt them, the parasites that live on them. Each connection branches into more connections, creating a network of staggering complexity. The harpy eagle's nest provides another web of connections. The massive stick platform becomes habitat for countless other creatures. Insects colonize the nest material, beetles boring into the wood, ants creating galleries, termites slowly consuming the older sticks. These insects, in turn, feed small birds that glean the nest surface. Lizards bask on sunny portions of the structure. Tree frogs colonize bromeliads that grow in accumulated soil and organic matter in the nest's crevices. Even the harpy eagle's feces, dropped from the nest over years, fertilize the understory below, creating nutrient hotspots where certain plants grow more vigorously. These plants attract herbivores, which attract predators, which attract scavengers. The web expands. When the harpy eagle kills a sloth and brings it to the nest, some meat invariably falls to the forest floor. This carrion feeds beetles, ants, flies. The flies are eaten by spiders and frogs. The spiders are eaten by birds. The birds are eaten by snakes. The snakes eventually might be eaten by another harpy eagle, closing the circle. Nothing in the forest exists alone.
Every organism is defined not just by what it is, but by its relationships with everything else. The harpy eagle is harpy eagle because it hunts sloths and monkeys, because it nests in kapok trees, because it competes with jaguars for arboreal prey, because it shapes the behavior of every prey species in its territory.
Remove the harpy eagle, and every one of these relationships changes. The web reorganizes itself, finding a new equilibrium, but something is lost. The forest becomes subtly different, less diverse, less resilient. This is true not just in the forest, but everywhere. You, reading or listening to this, are not an isolated individual. You're a node in countless webs of relationship. You're connected to everyone you know, everyone you interact with, even people you've never met. Your choices ripple outward. When you buy coffee, you affect farmers in another country. When you vote, you shape policies that affect millions. When you share an idea, you influence how others think and act. Like the harpy eagle, you are powerful beyond your immediate awareness. Your presence matters. Your actions create cascading effects through systems you may never see. This interconnection is both empowering and humbling. Empowering because it means you can make a difference, that your life has meaning and impact beyond what you can directly observe. Humbling because it means you're responsible for considering how your actions affect others, both human and non-human. The harpy eagle doesn't consciously consider its role in the ecosystem. It doesn't know that by controlling monkey populations, it indirectly protects small birds from nest predation. It simply does what evolution has designed it to do, and the system benefits. We humans have a different burden and gift: consciousness, the ability to understand our role and choose how we want to play it. We can see the web of connection and decide to act in ways that strengthen it, rather than tear it apart. This is the great challenge and opportunity of our time. We have more power to shape the world than any species has ever had. We can destroy ecosystems with frightening ease, or we can protect and restore them. We can drive species extinct, or we can bring them back from the brink. What will we choose? Each of us answers this question with our daily actions, whether we realize it or not. The harpy eagle reminds us that we are not separate from nature. We are part of it. The same atoms that make up the eagle's body once flowed through rivers, grew in trees, moved through the bodies of countless other creatures. The oxygen you breathe right now was produced by trees in forests you will never see. The water you drink has cycled through the global hydrological system for billions of years. You are made of stardust, as the popular saying goes. Atoms forged in the cores of ancient stars, scattered through space, eventually aggregating into planets, into oceans, into life. The same is true of the harpy eagle, of the sloth it eats, of the tree where it nests. We are all recycled material, temporary configurations of matter and energy, part of a flow that has continued for billions of years and will continue long after we are gone. This perspective can be comforting. Your individual worries, your personal struggles, these are real and valid, but they are also temporary, part of a much larger story. You are both insignificant, one small life in a vast universe, and profoundly significant, a unique expression of life's creative potential connected to everything else. The harpy eagle, in its patient perching, seems to understand this paradox intuitively. It is intensely focused on its individual survival, its specific hunt, its particular chick, and yet it operates within systems vastly larger than itself, shaped by forces it doesn't comprehend. The eagle doesn't need to understand evolution to be a product of it. It doesn't need to understand ecology to be a part of it. It simply exists, doing what eagles do, and the larger patterns take care of themselves. Perhaps there is wisdom in this approach. We humans spend so much energy trying to understand everything, control everything, plan for every contingency. But maybe, sometimes, the best approach is simply to do the work in front of us, to act with integrity and care, and trust that our efforts will contribute to larger patterns we can't fully see. This doesn't mean abdicating responsibility or acting without thought. It means recognizing that we can't control everything, can't know everything, can't plan for every possible outcome. Sometimes we must act despite uncertainty, trusting in our values and our best understanding, accepting that the results may surprise us. The harpy eagle makes decisions with incomplete information every day. It can't know for certain if that monkey troop will be distracted enough to allow a successful strike. It can't predict if a storm will damage its nest. It can't guarantee its chick will survive to adulthood. But it acts anyway. It tries, it adapts, it persists, and often enough, it succeeds. You too can act despite uncertainty. You can make your best guess, try your hardest, and accept whatever outcome emerges. You can learn from failures and build on successes. You can adapt when circumstances change. This is the dance of life, planning and improvisation, effort and acceptance, control and surrender. The harpy eagle navigates this dance instinctively. We must navigate it consciously, but the principles are the same. Do what you can, accept what you can't. Stay connected to the larger web of life. Recognize your place within it, neither more nor less important than any other strand, but uniquely positioned to contribute in ways only you can. The harpy eagle is irreplaceable. So are you. The forest needs the eagle. The world needs you, your particular gifts, your unique perspective, your specific contributions to the web of life. As we contemplate these connections, let your breathing deepen. Feel your connection to the air you breathe, to the earth that supports you, to the web of life that includes you. You are not separate. You are not alone. You are part of everything, and everything is part of you. This is not metaphor. This is biological and physical fact. The boundaries between you and not you are more permeable than they seem. You are constantly exchanging matter and energy with your environment. You are a process, not a thing, a pattern that maintains itself through constant flow and change. Like a whirlpool in a river, you have a distinct form and identity, but you are made of the same water as everything else, and the water that makes you up is constantly being replaced. What makes you you is the pattern, the relationship between the parts, not the parts themselves. The harpy eagle is the same. It is a pattern that has persisted for millions of years, even though the specific individuals and atoms that make it up are constantly changing. The eagle endures because the pattern endures, passed down through generations, adapting to new circumstances, maintaining its essential identity while embracing necessary change. You too are a pattern that can endure. The specific circumstances of your life will change. Your body will age, your thoughts and feelings will fluctuate. But the essential pattern that is you, your values, your commitments, your care for what matters, this can persist and even strengthen over time. Rest in this understanding. You are both temporary and eternal, a specific, finite individual, and also a manifestation of life's infinite creativity. You will die, but the pattern you represent will continue in those you influence, those you teach, those you love. The harpy eagle's individual life is finite, perhaps 30 or 40 years, but the harpy eagle as a pattern has existed for millions of years and may exist for millions more. Each individual eagle is precious, but the lineage is what endures. Your individual life matters immensely, and your connection to the larger pattern,
to your family, your community, your species, all of life. This matters too. Both are true simultaneously. Hold both truths gently as you rest. You are unique and irreplaceable, and you are part of something infinitely larger than yourself. Both truths honor the mystery and beauty of existence. And so we come to the end of our journey together, though the story of the harpy eagle continues, as it has for millennia, in the green silence of the rainforest. Let us return one final time to the canopy where we began. Close your eyes. Feel the warm, humid air on your skin. Smell the scent of flowers and earth and life. You are floating, weightless, among the trees. Around you, the forest pulses with activity, insects humming, birds calling, monkeys chattering in the distance. The sun filters through the leaves in golden shafts, illuminating dust motes and pollen drifting on the breeze. And there, on a high branch of a massive kapok tree, sits the harpy eagle. It is motionless, as it has been for hours. Its gray-black plumage blends with the bark and shadow. Its facial disc is raised, listening. Its fierce yellow eyes scan the forest, seeing details invisible to you. This eagle is female, a mature adult. She's 10 years old, still young by harpy standards, but experienced. She has raised 3 chicks to fledging, each one a victory against the odds. Her current chick, 5 months old, is somewhere nearby, practicing flight, beginning to explore the world beyond the nest. She has hunted this territory for 6 years. She knows every tree, every clearing, every salt lick where prey animals gather. She knows which sloths are old and slow, which monkey troops are vigilant, where the iguanas bask in the afternoon sun. This knowledge is hard-won. She learned it over years of observation, trial, error, success. It is stored in her brain, in the patterns of neurons firing, in the memories that guide her choices. When she dies, this knowledge will die with her, unless she passes some of it to her offspring through example. As you watch her, the eagle's attention sharpens. Something has caught her eye. Movement in the canopy, 200 meters away. A sloth, shifting position on its branch. The eagle does not move, not yet. She watches. The sloth settles again, hanging motionless. Still, the eagle waits. Patience is her greatest weapon. Rushing would alert the prey. Waiting costs her nothing. Minutes pass. The sloth moves again, beginning to climb to a higher branch where fresh leaves grow. It moves slowly, deliberately, unaware it is being watched. And then the eagle launches. She drops from her perch, falling briefly, converting altitude into speed. Then her wings bite the air, each massive downstroke driving her forward. She banks around a tree trunk, wings tucked briefly to slip through a gap in the canopy. The sloth sees her now, too late. It tries to increase its grip on the branch, to press itself flat, to become invisible. But the eagle is already there. Talons extended, wings flared to break. The eagle's feet close around the sloth. The talons sink deep. It is over in an instant. The eagle's wings beat harder now, lifting both her weight and the sloth's. She carries her prize upward through the canopy, back to the nest where her chick waits. The young eagle calls eagerly, seeing its mother return with food. This is the cycle. This is the reality of the rainforest. Beauty and violence intertwined. Death feeding life. The endless dance of predator and prey. The harpy eagle is not cruel. It is not evil. It is perfectly suited to its role, doing what millions of years of evolution have designed it to do. It feeds itself, feeds its chick, and in doing so, maintains the balance of the forest. As you drift here in the canopy, in this place between dreams and waking, let yourself feel gratitude for this magnificent creature. Gratitude that such a being exists, that the world still holds room for such power and grace. Gratitude for the forest that sustains it, for the complex web of life that makes the eagle's existence possible. Gratitude for the opportunity to learn about it, to care about it, to perhaps contribute in some small way to its survival. The harpy eagle has been called the monarch of the canopy, the ghost of the forest, the spirit of the rainforest. These names capture different aspects of its nature, its supremacy, its elusiveness, its deep connection to the ecosystem it inhabits. But perhaps the simplest truth is this: the harpy eagle is a survivor. It has survived millions of years of environmental change. It has survived the expansion of humans across its range. It has survived hunting, habitat loss, climate fluctuations. Against all odds, it endures. And it can continue to endure if we choose to let it. If we choose to protect what remains of its forest home. If we choose to value life and wildness as highly as we value profit and convenience. The choice, as always, is ours.
Now, as our time together draws to a close, let yourself slowly return from the forest. Feel yourself drifting down through the canopy, past the eagle's nest, past the layers of orchids and vines and branches. Down through the understory, where the light is dim and green. Down to the forest floor, where the earth is soft with fallen leaves. And then beyond, out of the forest entirely, back to wherever you are in the world. Back to your bed, your room, your life. But you bring something with you. The memory of the forest, the image of the harpy eagle, the knowledge of its magnificence and its vulnerability, the understanding of your connection to it. Carry this knowledge with you. Let it inform your choices. Let it give you perspective when the concerns of daily life seem overwhelming. You are part of something vast and ancient, the web of life on Earth. Your actions matter in ways you may never fully understand. The harpy eagle soars above the forest, powerful and free. It depends on nothing but the wildness that sustains it. And in a strange, circular way, that wildness depends on us, on our willingness to protect it, to make room for it in our world. May you rest well. May your dreams be filled with green forests and clear skies. May you wake with renewed commitment to living in a way that honors the beauty and complexity of life on this remarkable planet we all share. The harpy eagle calls from the canopy, a clear, piercing cry that echoes through the forest and fades into silence. Listen, remember, act. The forest is waiting. The eagle is waiting. The future is waiting. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the world of the harpy eagle. This has been a Nature Soothes Stories production, bringing you deep dives into the natural world for relaxation, education, and sleep. All scientific information presented in this script is based on current research and field studies of Harpia. We are grateful to the researchers, conservationists, and indigenous communities who continue to study and protect this magnificent species. To learn more about harpy eagle conservation or to support protection efforts, consider organizations like the Peregrine Fund, the World Wildlife Fund, and local rainforest conservation groups throughout Latin America. May the spirit of the harpy eagle inspire us all to protect the wild places of our world. Until our next journey together, sleep well, dream deeply, and wake with wonder.